Alright, in this video we're going to be talking about the gate function on the Behringer X32 or M32. So over here to our left in this kind of dynamics category, we have next to the compressor a gate. And so this works the same way as all the other things. You select your instrument that you want to use. So let's say it's vocal 2 today. We can turn the gate on. The gate is to be turned on and you'll see it going red there, and there's a wee light saying, yep, gate is on. And then we can view it with this button here, and over here we can see a diagram that shows us visually what's going on. And so this knob here, the threshold knob, is going to change the threshold on that diagram. So I'm just changing that over here. But I can also change the threshold here if I want, because there's the threshold. So what does a gate do and why would we use it? Well, what a gate does is it does what the name says. It is a gate on the audio signal. It's a gate that can open or close. And so with a gate, we're determining how loud does a signal have to be heard. Or in other words, for the gate to be opened for us to be able to hear it. And how quiet do we want the signal to be when the gate closes? So think about this. Once the signal reaches a certain volume, the gate opens and we can hear it. If the signal is below a certain volume, the gate is closed, so we don't hear that. And this is a way of just removing annoying sounds, maybe from a signal. So it might be a microphone that's in a really loud environment and there's guitar amps going around, there's drums thrashing, but since they're far away noises, hopefully they're just quiet signals. So we just get to say, well, anything that's kind of quietish, maybe here you can see below 51 dB, minus 51 dBs, anything that's below that, let's just shut the gate so that we can't hear it. And anything that's above that, let's have the gate open so that we can hear it. So it might be like a set of drums where the snare drum is very close to the hi-hat and we don't want the hi-hat sound always coming in. So we'll say, let's just set the gate so that any kind of other sound that's below this threshold, the gate's going to shut and we're not going to hear it. But when we hit the snare and it goes above the threshold, the gate's going to open and we're going to hear that sound. Now, one thing to remember is you're never going to be able to shut out the other sounds completely, because once the snare drum, let's say, hits over the gate threshold, that opens the gate for every other sound to come through as well. But it is a way of cleaning up the sound. So what are our parameters here? We've got a threshold, so that chooses at what dB the gate opens or closes. So we could set it really high like this, and only the really, really loud sounds will open the gate. Or we could set it really low. So some of the quietest sounds can still get through the gate, but some of the really quiet sounds won't. This here, the mode, we can change the shape. We can make it a soft sort of gate, or a really harsh gate, or change the shape kind of altogether, which is pretty crazy. We have got some more controls if we press the button here. So if we go back up, we've got the attack, which is how quickly the gate opens. The hold and release, those are kind of talking about how long do we want the gate to be open and how quickly does the gate shut. And we've got here a range. So that's pretty much gate. There's just one more tricky feature which you don't need to worry about really as you're starting out. But this over here, key source, if I just click down there, I can select what channel is it that opens and closes the gate. So it could be like here, actually vocal 2, which is the default. It's vocal 2, the signal of vocal 2 that opens or closes the gate. Or I could actually choose that the gate really only opens when the kick drum is played or the bass guitar is played, and that's what we would call side chain, so another instrument coming in. So you could say every time there's a humongous kick drum, then the gate opens on vocal 2. I don't know why you would want to do that, and we can talk about techniques later, but for that, that's choosing a different key source. So at the moment, this is a gate. Just think of it like this. You're choosing what sounds do or don't get through the gate. You get to choose how loud something has to be to open the gate and how quiet something can be to not be heard. So that is a gate.